Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be diving into something that is actually quite nuanced and probably nobody has ever really talked to you about, and that is the note-taking process that you should use when you are on your high-ticket sales calls. And this is really important because obviously you're jumping onto a call for probably an hour. There's a lot of information that's going to be communicated by the prospect. Some of the information you're not going to want to use. There's some of the information you are going to want to use. And there's going to be certain things as well that you probably don't realize that you would want to leverage on your high ticket sales calls to be able to help you to close more deals. So just a little preface, the quality of the video is a little bit cooked, but in my head, I was thinking maybe I should upload this, maybe I shouldn't upload this. But ultimately the decision that I came to was, I think you're going to just appreciate the value of the information that I'm conveying more than anything. If you're enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe, like the video, follow me on Instagram, all that good jazz, and let's get to it. Bro, the notes that I take when I'm on a sales call are extensive. Like I will have my A4 document.
Yeah.
By the time that I'm done, the whole page is covered in notes.
Yeah, I take the notes, but the question is only like, what kind of notes do you take and how do you use those notes for your pitch and after pitch process?
So I'm just pulling in different sections at different points in time, right? So when I'm going transition statement, I'm pulling in desired outcome, but I'm also pulling in consequences and areas where there's room for improvement. So it's more of a use case thing. When I get to, say, for example, when you're covering offer, you've made your notes about the offer. This is when you would be bringing it up and going into more depth. Or later on in the call, when he's saying, I'm just not sure that this is worth the money, you've made your notes around, okay, that's absolutely fine. I hear where you're coming from. I guess one thing that I just wanted to get some clarity on, Sabir, was earlier on you said you know what to do, but you're not entirely sure how to go about doing it. So could you just give me some more clarity on that piece? Now we're starting to tackle the value objection using his own language, right?
So you would take the notes about pain points, which we do, transition, right? Pain points, desired outcome, consequences, roadblocks.
It's pretty much everything. Everything that is being said, I'm taking notes on to some extent.
Okay.
And then I'm pulling it in that information when it is relevant.
Maybe you can break it down the way like pain, consequence, and roadblocks. These are the three things you would say.
No.
Are you always writing it down? Why don't you do it in Google Sheets?
I prefer to write it down. It's just a preference.
Okay.
So, okay, that's much better. So this top section here is all just background information.
Okay.
So be where they live, things that they're interested in, do they have a partner, do they have kids, their history, what they've done in the past, all of that type of stuff. So then I have all of my sections along here, right? So service, niche, prospects, pain points, main objections, past experience, calls per week, current sales conversion rate, desired sales conversion rate, ticket price, current monthly, desired monthly, motivations, consequences, main thing, okay? Now this is gonna be, you have to obviously adapt that based on what offer you are on, because it's not gonna be the same as mine, right? But those are just the general sections that you are going through when you're doing your discovery and you're creating a place to be able to give your responses. On this side, let's see if it will focus. On this side, I leave this blank, okay, whilst I'm going through discovery. I then start filling it out. So each one of these stars is representative of a case study that I should bring up because it is relevant to said specific prospect, whether that's based on their current sales conversion rate, their current monthly recurring revenue, the country that they're based on, the changes that they want to make to their ticket price, whatever it could be, right? So yeah, that's that. In this section here, this is me talking about, okay, these are the key areas that I want to highlight in the pitch. These are things that are important. These are areas where I can go about moving the needle. Okay, sometimes there will be more, sometimes there will be less, right? And then in this section here, these are points either to be concerned about. So it could be, so you can see here, this says potential time objection, right? So I'm paying attention in the line of questioning. What does it say here? It says hasn't launched yet, right? So potential time objection. So I want to be mindful of this. Potential value objection, right? So whilst I'm in discovery, I'm being mindful of these could become problems for me if I don't handle them in line of questioning and pitch and post-pitch process. AKA, I just want to soften these up as time goes by so that they're not such a big thing later on, right? Then with reference to this is where it starts getting chaotic. I'm just putting additional information in here. It's like, okay, this at the moment, so-and-so is facing this particular objection, but they're facing it through this lens. They're getting this number of appointments and they've been paying X amount of money to get these number of appointments. But they've only had this number of appointments for yada. Long story short, I am taking notes on everything, literally everything that is going on in the call. But the key thing about all of this is I'm always keeping this exact same structure whenever I take notes. And so out as time goes by, what will happen is when you're thinking, okay, they're talking about the appointment booking side of things. Where is this additional information that I need to leverage? You should just look at it. Like your eye will immediately just go to this section of the page and all of the information that you need is there. Or when it comes to, oh, it's time for me to bring up a particular case study, your eye immediately just goes up here. Or I need to bring up background information, you're going to this bit, right? So this is why I prefer going old school with the note-taking process, because it allows me to have more control over the chaos. If I'm putting it on a spreadsheet or I'm putting it on a Google Doc, it's a lot harder for me to try and format everything and then also have it up on my screen. So for me personally, I prefer it this way.
But it makes sense because you can draw, you can think.
Exactly, right? Because what you're seeing with this, and I mean, this is usually about as chaotic as it will get. Sometimes it will be a bit more. But there'll be like, so say for example here, there's an arrow that leads to this, then there's an arrow that leads to this, and then there'll be like another arrow that spins off of that. So it's my thoughts taking place on the page, how it all interlinks, so that I can prepare myself in the call. So I hope you got a lot of value from the video. If you feel like you did and you want to see future content, obviously hit subscribe. If you like the video, like the video. If you want to follow me on Instagram, feel free to do so. And if you would like to get coached by me directly so that you can increase your sales conversion rate and make more money every single month, there is a link in the description to book in a call. But with all of that said, I appreciate your time and I will see you just now.